Hi, Dee Dee Ladybug. Thank you for stopping by. Appreciate it. This is my Nick the Booksmith Deserted Island Journal Challenge. What a mouthful. So I'm going to go ahead and leave the link down below in the description box so that you can go check out her video about it. And then if you look in her description box, it will explain the givens as well as the choices. So the givens, I'll just give a quick one. You can start. The 4 givens for everyone are for paper, as much as you need for your inside, for your fillers. However, they all have to be the same type of paper, meaning all tea stained, all coffee stained, and all the same type of paper. So you choose what you want to be your pages on the inside of that. Glue, scissors, and a needle with a thread. And the glue, you choose if you need something with the brush, you can go ahead and use it. And then you get 4 choices as far as what your choices are that you stuffed in your fanny pack and were able to make it to shore on your deserted island. And some of the suggestions were a 12 by 12 piece of scrapbook paper. You could use fabric. You could use a trim. Only I think it was like a yard of the trim. Washi tape. And also one of the choices were how you were going to cover your pages. So let's just say you decided to use all your paper. You would have, of course, another choice because you could glue your paper together to make the cover. So please go over and take a look at it and see what the rules and regulations are. I think it ends, I want to say November 17th. But seriously, go check out the link. It's a lot of fun to do. And one of the things she keep saying is, make good choices. So hopefully I made okay choices. I did not do the needle and thread. I'm still recovering from my hand surgery, so I can't really hold a needle and thread it and those kind of things. So I used a ruler instead. So I took one of those givens out and replaced it with a ruler because I felt it was okay to help me rip the pages because my cutting skills are also really, they're down the drain. So I really had to think about how I was going to be able to do this and be limited in how I can use my utensils and my crafting tools. So I did use a gutted book. It's 2 signatures filled with tea stain paper, and it's I think about 40 pages. So like I said, I didn't use the needle and thread. I did use a ruler instead of the needle and thread, even though the given was a needle and thread. So I bent the rules a little tiny bit, not too much, just a little. So I had to kind of figure out a way how I was not going to have to hold a needle and thread. So I ended up sewing in my signatures with the fabric. So I really had to, I've been using my hand a lot, my left hand a lot. So I was, using this as my awl as well as, to make any holes, I had to use the scissors. And I used a lot of the scissors, as I'll explain in the book. I used the Distress Oxide Frayed Burlap, and I used the Fabri-Tac, and a yard. Well, it was a 12 by 18, and I do have a lot left off. I could probably cover the whole book in the fabric, but I didn't use it all. And I use a 12 by 12 tea stain paper that I already had that had cutouts on it. So this, I did a little layering on the front, and this thread here is like, when you rip the fabric, you get all those frayed things. So I just had literally like a ball of it. And I just used a little bit of it throughout the book. And again, I tied using the fabric. And we'll go right on in, and a little pocket in the beginning, and a little bit, you know, the light's coming in a little funny. Let me fix that. But here, before I put the book down and lift it up again, some of the 12 by 12 cutouts, some fabric, a little tag, and I made the lines using the lid of the ink. Hold on one sec. Let me just go see if I can kind of get rid of these shadows. I'm right underneath the window, and the sun's coming in a kind of a little bit of a funky way right now. All right, I think that's better. Well, it looks better so far. So the paper that I had, it's all tea stained, and this is on top. This was in all of my stash. I didn't use any of my new stuff. This is all what I had in my stash, because I just had uploaded a tea stain video, but none of this is that. I'm all over the place today. Anywho, so these little circles are the lid from the glue. And this is my very poor attempt at trying to cut a flower. I put the fabric here and here to reinforce that spine. And again, and these are again the lines from the lid. And then I glued a piece of fabric to make a little flip out. This is one of the cutouts. And oops. And then did a little writing in there. It says, "Miss you, my darling, my love." And I wrote it with the tip of the glue. And these are from the glue lid. This is a little stencil inking that I did. And these circles are from the top of the dauber. And then there's that stencil that I glued on. And again, this is a table that I have some paper. I did use some scraps that I had, so because that's what I was working with when I was on the cruise ship. So what I did here, these lines here, I made with the cover to my scissors. I just inked it on the side here, and went like that. And this is also ink, and I just took the the ink dauber and rolled it in the ink pad, and then rolled it here. A little collage. And then this is from when I cut out the flower. It got a lot smaller, as you can see, but this was the original size of it. So I just used that as a stencil as well. That's how bad the first time was when I cut it out. But, I wanted to use up what was sitting on my desk. And again, the lines. And then this here is a little stencil that I made. And this is a stamp that I made. And I'll explain that to you, how that worked out at the very end of the journal. This is the center of the first signature. In order to keep the ends closed, I did tie it. And that's what it looks like. And then on this side, I just added an additional strip of fabric because I liked the way that looked. And just a little tag with another little tag and a little tiny pocket. Get that back in. And some lines on the back. A little extra fabric to make the tabs with. And here you can see it's just the fabric. And this flips out, and then it's a fold out. And that's part of the negative of the, the hearts, not the hearts, the flowers. A little collage going on. And then I did the tag to make it look like it goes behind there. It's part of the string from the fabric. And I doubled this up. I glued 2 pieces together. Another heart stamp. And a little dangly with some fabric, a belly band, a piece of paper. This belly band, as you saw, the ones that just had the 2 humps. This was a piece of paper that was folded, and I cut them out to have those 2 little bumps. And I wasn't very happy with the way it looked, so I cut those 2 pieces off and used that as the belly band. There's that stamping again. And this is the happy mistake. So I had folded this page a different way originally, and when I put it in the book, I didn't like the way it looked, so I had to kind of reconfigure the fold. It's a little pocket. And I put a strip of fabric here, and I thought I got to stick something in there. And I know I've seen videos where people do crazy stuff with the hot glue, and I thought, well, how can I try to do something like that, but with the Fabri-Tac? And so I drew the best heart I could, and I put some ink on it. And so the heart itself was really dark, and it looked really cool. And then when I closed the pages and I kept going, I was going back and forth, it made this impression here, the very top one. And I'm like, oh, well, that's cute. Okay, that's nice. And I thought, oh, it's probably because of, it was really wet or whatever I did wrong. So, I continued on through the book, and I thought, let me try something. So, this is, oh, by the way, it's a little fold out. And I don't mind that it's all dark here because it was used like a stamp. So I just literally took it. See if I can get it. Just put it back in here. But maybe it needs a little more. And then I would find a page. Let's go back here. Yeah, let's put one here. And it just makes these cute little heart stamps. Like I say, happy mistake. But if you're watching this and you haven't started your book, please put some glue on some paper and any kind of designs, and that can be your stamp. That could be a stamp for you, and you can make dozens of them. So that's what I did with that one. So you will see the hearts throughout. Again, this is from a table that I have, and these lines here were made, or I took the tip of the cover of the scissors and just kind of, went like that. And this is just a little leftover paper that I stuck in there. Little flip, and that's all tied in. And then here, let me see if I can bring it up a little bit. On that page, that I took my scissors and dipped this portion in the ink and made the little dots. And then the lines, I dipped the side and did that. And again, the heart. And this is from the lid of the glue. Second signature. The flower, another one of the flowers. I cut 2. Well, I cut 2 and cut 1 down to look better because it was bad. And this is from the 12 by 12, a little baggage claim. And this is what was left from cutting apart a piece of the cutout on that 12 by 12, the doily. And a heart. And just a little collage here. And this is just a little notebook that I put some lines on. Made that a text spot. Made some ruffled paper there. And there's another flip out here. And again, these little circles are from the glue. And as in the first signature, I used it as a stencil. Goodness. Put some lines here. This is also a little tuck. This fabric I can pull out or tie it up, whatever I want to do with it later. I wanted to leave that open as an option to kind of create a little bit more. And again, that's rolling the, the dauber. And this here is, again, the lid of the dauber. And remember the belly band? This was one of the sides that I cut out, and then I just added a little, one full little ticket there. And, you know, the thread from pulling the fabric apart. And here's the center of the second signature. And there's the other half of that paper. And a fabric ruffle. And again, I tied the sides to hold things in. A little book with a belly band that comes on and off. Little ticket. Another little flip out. A piece of fabric. And again, it's, you know, with the fabric is the way I sewed it in. Stamp. Circles. Circles. It repeats a little bit, and I'm okay with that. What was left over from a tag that I was cutting apart. And on this one, again, it's that little stencil. And I wanted it to look like it was creating some texture there. So hopefully that was accomplished. A little part of a tag that I tore apart. And a little fabric flip with a little heart stencil here. A little heart stencil. What was left of the 12 by 12. And I kind of scrunched it up. I know it, I don't think you can see it, but it's all scrunched up to look like scrunched up fabric. And then a little collage there. And it's supposed to look like a postcard. And then again the stamping. So yeah, that's my book. I think I did edge it a little tiny bit, but this paper was already pretty yellowed. And I did go on the outside of the book and use the distress ink to make it look a little bit more distressed. I really appreciate you taking a look at it. Hopefully you give me a thumbs up. Again, I was a little bit limited on you know, my strength right now in crafting, but I thought, you know what, I'm gonna try this because I gotta get in the craft room. So this is my Nick the Booksmith Deserted Item challenge, and it's my own personal challenge using my left hand and not my right hand. Anywho, oh my goodness, I ramble. Well, again, thank you for stopping by. I really appreciate it. And have fun. Have fun. Bye.